Happy New Year, everybody. It's the Combatcast with the man called Dave and Chevy. And, of course, we're starting off slow this year. Not a lot of MMA events or no UFC events until January. Oh, I'm blanking out there. 17th or 24th?
The 24th.
It's the 24th, yeah. So we're going to talk about things we'd like to see. Or actually what we're going to talk about today is weight classes, the champions currently we have, and will we see them be champions by the end of the year, or who we think are going to be the champions? And then on Patreon today, we're going to expand a little more on what we'd like to see in 2026. Chevy, what do we got coming up after this week?
I'm good. I'm excited for fights to get back.
Yes.
It's nice to have this break for sure, because I was getting a little bit of fatigue with just constant sloppy garbage cards every single week, but I'm excited to have fights back. But no fights next week. So January 17th, actually, before we got on here, I was putting together a UFC Jeopardy quiz show. So I'll be quizzing the man they called Dave on some UFC trivia. So hopefully that goes well. We'll see how that goes. And then January 24th, UFC's back with their premium numbered events or premium live events. I formerly known as pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So UFC 324, Gaethje versus Pimblett for the interim lightweight belt. That's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern time from T-Mobile in Las Vegas. Looking forward to that.
Loving everything about this so far, man.
Yep. And then January 31st, back-to-back, formerly known as pay-per-views. UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopez 2. Good fight. A little bit less excited about that particular fight. Seeing as how we just saw that one, but I'll watch it again. That is, again, 9 p.m. Eastern. Rough for those Australian fans. They'll be having to drink at like 6 in the morning or whatever that is there. But that's going to be coming at you live from Australia.
Earlier time. Don't have to spend $80 a shot, and some pretty good fights to start off with. So appreciate what UFC is bringing out in January. So yeah, it's right now though. We're just gonna have to grit and bear it for the next couple of weeks until we get there. So we just thought we'd talk about some of these weight classes and who we think is going to be champion at the end of it. I think we did this last year as well. I'll let you kick off any weight class you want. I don't care.
Let's just go in lightest to heaviest.
Okay.
So let's start with the women's. Let's do women's strawweight. Current champ Mackenzie Dern. Who do you think is going to be champ by the end of the year?
I'm going to go Weili Zhang.
Weili Zhang, yeah.
I mean, she couldn't, so she's going to probably go back down. And it's not like an exciting answer, but I mean, if Weili Zhang goes back down, who's going to beat her right now? I just don't see it. I like Dern, but it is what it is. It'll be a nice fight for her when that fight happens, but Weili Zhang.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that she will go back down just due to how poorly that fight with Valentina went. She really got dominated for the whole fight. So, go back down and be the best strawweight in the world by a lot, I assume. So I hope those girls down there are ready.
Yeah.
Let's move on to women's flyweight. Currently, Valentina, obviously. Who do you see?
I don't. I'm going to go Valentina until she decides to vacate this weight class at this point. Not to say, look, the more excited answer, there's people on the horizon, and I'm never going to tell you there's not someone that could knock someone off. I mean, we didn't think Holly Holm was going to knock off Ronda Rousey so many years ago, but right now I just don't see anyone taking it from Valentina. So she's looked better than ever, and I'm going to stick with her for the whole year.
So I'm going to go against my better judgment. Yes, Valentina has looked the best she's ever looked recently, but she's going to be 40 years old by the time her next fight comes. So I'm going to go with the young gun, and I pick her every year for like the last 3 years. I'm going to go with Erin Blanchfield. I think she'll be champ. Natalia Silva, I think, will be next in line against Valentina, and she puts up a very tough fight as well. So I'm going to go Erin Blanchfield by the end of the year.
I will say this to your point. Both those women are in line for title shots, potentially. And you never know. We'll see.
On to the men. Let's go with flyweight. Joshua Van, newly crowned flyweight champion.
I think Van is going to have a few, maybe one or two successful title defenses. And I think Pantoja comes back and reclaims his crown. It's nothing against Van. Pantoja is just such a great, was such a great champion. And I think he really had a mindset where he wanted to, like, you know, be a better champion than even Mighty Mouse. And this is a bad setback for him, but he's got that strong mentality. And we'll have to see how Van evolves, but gun to my gut tells me Pantoja is going to be the champion again by the end of 2026.
Yeah, I didn't go with Pantoja just because I wasn't sure when he's coming back. That's a good shout. Obviously, he's very good. I was very excited for that fight. So if he does come back this year, I'm excited for that one. But I picked Manel Kape. I'm very vocal on this show about my dislike for Manel Kape as his personality, but he's a great fighter and he's smart in there with his game plan. So if he gets a chance at the belt, I think he gets it. Him versus Pantoja is a fun fight if it ends up happening this year.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You're right. Yeah.
Moving on to Bantamweight, current champion and new, recently crowned champ, Petr Yan.
Yes, I'm going to go Merab at the end of 2020. I think Merab will take some time off like we talked about. I think Yan will have a successful title defense or two, but I think Merab eventually is going to get that title back, whether it's Yan or if Yan slips on a banana peel and somehow O'Malley or somebody else gets it. I think Merab will just be stronger than ever. I think Merab, we found his limits. I think after having the way he fights with the cardio machine and then go for that fourth title defense of the year, I think that's what kind of, and not to take away from Yan, but I just think that was part of what did him in. And yeah, so I still think Merab is the best bantamweight in the world, and I think by the end of 2026 we'll see that.
Yeah, that is a good shot. I also went outside the box on this one a little bit, and I went with Umar Nurmagomedov. I think it's possible he could make some adjustments to beat Merab as well. I also don't think – I think there's actually a path to Sean O'Malley being champ again.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, that's why I mentioned his name. I'm like, I can see it.
But I'm going to go with Umar, even though I'm kind of hoping that's not the outcome. I'd rather Merab. But moving on to featherweight, Volkanovski, is he still going to be champ at the end of 2026?
I don't think so, because I think Volk's going to retire soon. I think he's kind of even talked about it a little bit. So, or maybe it was just Diego Lopez or someone was talking about it. I think they won't get a shot at him. Might have been my pick, actually, Lerone Murphy. And I think what happens is he's either good enough to beat Volk or Lopez or, you know, whoever might be. Well, I mean, there's a lot of strong people, but I think Lerone Murphy is going to be the guy who's the champion in 2026.
I agree. I think Volkanovski, this is going to be the last year we see him. I think he retires by the end of the year. I'm with you. So I think whoever gets the title shot, either Lerone Murphy or Movsar Evloev, whoever gets the title shot is going to win the title. So just depends on who the UFC wants to pick. I would assume Lerone Murphy would be put in there ahead of Movsar for marketability reasons. So yeah, it's a good shout, Lerone Murphy for champion featherweight, and we see Volkanovski off into his next life as a YouTube chef where he's killing it.
Hey, did we do women's bantamweight?
No, we skipped over women's bantamweight.
Yes, we did.
I just went right past that one.
Because really, I mean, nobody's probably taking this belt off of Harrison or Nunes. So It's almost like, and that's why I ended up just picking Nunes, just for the record. I think, even though I think there's a chance she wins it and then retires again.
I kind of think that too, yeah. That kind of puts the whole division in disarray.
Yeah, because I don't think Harrison will probably come back either. I think that'll probably be it. So there's a good chance this could be the last time both these women fight, or we're close to it. So it's really hard to predict, but just going off what we know, I'm going to go Amanda Nunes right now.
I think that one might actually be the hardest just because it's going to be so up in the air. I really do think both ladies retire afterwards. Nobody wants to cut to 135, the two of them ever again, I'm sure.
Right.
And they're also never going to make more money than they're going to make on this fight. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Back up to men's lightweight. Ilia Topuria is currently the undisputed title holder, but the interim title is going to be held by either Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett by the end of this month.
I laugh because I'm picking Ilia to actually be champion at the end of the year. But what I think is going to happen, and there's no real reason is, I think Ilia is going to eventually actually, because of his legal issues, I think somehow like he'll either forfeit it or be stripped of it and stuff like that. And I think Paddy's going to find a way to beat Gaethje, even though I can see Gaethje win in. And I just got this feeling Paddy's got this like thing going right now and momentum, and I just feel like he'll find a way to beat Gaethje. Patty will be champion, and when Patty becomes champion, Ilya will come back and win that title from Patty. Because as much as Patty might be improving, and again, I'm not even saying he's beating Gaethje for sure. I'm just kind of leaning that way. I don't care if you're Gaethje or Patty. I'm picking Ilya. I just think Ilya is a different kind of fighter right now. He's this new breed, and he looks unstoppable to me. So by the end of 2026, I think no matter what happens, Ilya will be champ again or stay champ.
So I also think Ilya will be champ unless he decides to go up and chase Makhachev at welterweight. Yeah. And if he does do that, I'm picking Arman Tsarukyan to be the lightweight champion. So
great pick.
If Ilya sticks around, he'll be champ. If not, I think Arman's going to be the guy. Moving up, welterweight, currently held by Islam Makhachev. Who's going to be Islam Makhachev?
I was going to say Islam, I think, will be champ. But if you have your way and Ilya goes up in weight class, then it's a little more decided for me. But right now, I'll say Makhachev holds on to 2026.
I'm with you. I don't think anything matters. I think he holds it no matter who he fights. So, all right. Middleweight, currently held by Khamzat Chimaev.
See Islam Makhachev. I don't think anybody beats this guy either. You know, would Makhachev go up to weight class to fight Khamzat? You know, Chimaev, would that be a fight?
He wants to chase legacy. He definitely could.
Yeah, that would be
not like in the same camp or anything, you know?
Right, yeah. But I'll say this year, Chimaev might have a breakout year, actually. Maybe this will be Chimaev, maybe make a couple title defenses.
I'm going with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I think he's the guy that has the cardio. He has the weapon for Khamzat's weakness, which is cardio. I know he's been working with Sam Calavita, so he's probably doing a bunch of EPO and drugs and getting steroided up, but the doctor's keeping him safe from the whoever the fuck is looking for steroids in the UFC now. But I think at some point, Anthony Hernandez goes in there, and if he can, he's going to get taken down a bunch, but if he can just push Chimaev on the feet, he could tire him out, I think, and win in the later rounds. So, he's definitely still an underdog in that fight, but I'm going with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez for champ in middleweight.
All right. I mean, he was a guy and across when I was looking at, contenders and stuff. I just can't, I can see it, but I just can't pick it, But,
and he has a hard time with like other guys, like just matchup wise, like him and Dricus would be like, Dricus is a very bad matchup for Hernandez, so it kind of depends on the timing of the fights as well. So moving on, lightweight or light heavyweight, Alex Pereira, is he going to be sticking around?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he could go up to heavyweight. I could see Pereira chasing some heavyweight glory, but unless I see that otherwise, I'm going to say Alex Pereira will be champion for the year. These guys at light heavyweight just don't seem to know how to deal with him. And it's interesting because, when I look at the Magomedov fight, like the first fight, I thought, okay, well, this was the perfect style to beat Pereira. And then Pereira just comes back and just knocks this guy out, and I'm like, Jesus, like, what is this guy, So I love Alex Pereira, and maybe I'm just picking with my heart, but I still think he's one of the biggest stars in the UFC right now. And unless he decides to chase heavyweight glory, I'll say he remains light heavyweight champ. And even though this guy is reckless, and even though he's already lost, I'll say there's a goofy, odd chance in my mind that Prohaska somehow will be this guy who ends up being champion again, because he's just such a wild man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very tough to deal with for sure. I do think Alex is going to end up going up to heavyweight. It depends on a lot. There's a lot of variability at heavyweight, which we'll talk about in a minute going on. But I think Alex goes up. So if he does, it's either going to be Ankalaev, but the UFC definitely doesn't want that. So maybe they sit him and you get Yuri will end up being the champ. So if it's not Ankalaev, it'll definitely be Yuri.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Heavyweight. Tom Aspinall is currently the champ, but he's going in for another eye surgery.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tom for now, just because he's the champ. And if Tom is able to come back, I think he's going to want to make a statement against Gunn. And I think we'll see a focused Tom, and Tom will be able to get it done. And I don't think there's anyone at heavyweight that can really touch Tom Aspinall, honestly, still. But I don't know what you're going to say, but I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, the fact he's going for another eye surgery potentially, the fact that he hasn't fought in a while, even before this, it's almost like the women's bantamweight division, like not quite as muddy to me, but also still very muddy. It would probably be the most second muddy picture to me because it's like, yeah, like I could easily see something happens where Tom doesn't return or he just doesn't seem like the same fighter right now. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of what ifs with this right now to me.
I think if he does come back this year, he's 100%, and he's 100%, then he's definitely going to be champ. But if not, it's going to be Alex. Alex will come up and he'll be gone for the title.
Yeah, that's a great matchup actually for Alex.
Unless John Jones decides to come back, he wants to be on that White House card. If he fights anyone other than Tom, he's definitely going to be champ. Tom's the only one that has a chance against John. So it really depends if Tom fights and if John comes back. So
it's funny when you said Alex coming up to fight Gon. I thought because Gon's a striker, I said that's actually a pretty good matchup for Pereira. If you wanted to get that title up Pereira. Not saying that he can be Gon. Gon's a big man. But I think it's a good matchup. But at the same time, then you said John Jones, and I thought, well, that's a good matchup for Pereira's bank account if he ever gets that.
Right, and I think he's going to be, you might this year and maybe next year, and he retires. I mean, he's only looking for a couple big fights, and then I think he's getting out.
Pereira.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, God, this is a guy who spent years and years kickboxing, and he's on the mats with Glover now these days, doing jiu-jitsu and working on that. And now he's been a two-time light heavyweight champion MMA, a former middleweight champion MMA. Like, he's
Tracy Cortez now. Life's great for him.
Yeah, great career, great life. I hope he does get a shot at heavyweight before all is said and done. Let's put a bow on this episode. That's what we got for you guys today. We'll be back next week, like Chevy said. He's going to quiz me on some UFC, maybe MMA in general, or UFC. Just
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Maybe hit me with some name pronunciations. We'll see if we can put something.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what we can do. Our Patreon peeps, we will have something extra for you, so just hang on in there. But for everybody else, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate